Well, my journey at Larchmont is definitely a really long one.
I have been at Larchmont since kindergarten.
So I came to Larchmont in the middle of first grade.
So I came to Larchmont in third grade, or I've been here since third grade.
So I joined Larchmont in I think seventh
I don't
grade.
want you waiting too long. She hold me down like gravity.
We on the front page of them blogs. Would you be mad
And
at me?
it's been an amazing journey, really. I think there's just been so much growth for me, beginning since kindergarten, because I've been at Fairfax, Selma, and LFP, and all those different campuses really exposed me to like different ideals, different sort of things and challenges, and everything really helped me come together as a person.
And I think the beauty of Larchmont is that it has a really big emphasis on community, and I feel like there's a lot of people who joined towards the beginning of high school. There's a lot of people who stayed like from kindergarten and journeyed their way through Larchmont, and I feel like even though I came in sort of like in the middle, as you can say, I felt very involved in the community, and really it was cool because it was like I'm part of Larchmont.
I kind of was just thrown in, and I just really liked it. And basically, after that, I never really wanted to leave, and I just really liked the school and everything about it.
Out on Selma. I went to Holly Grove for third, fourth, fifth, and then sixth through now. I've been at LFP, and I actually kind of enjoy it, despite what I may say otherwise.
I went to Fairfax and then Selma, and now I'm here at LFP. And honestly, like, it's been a pretty good one. I liked growing up with the school and getting to know everybody, being really familiar with all my teachers and like every kid in my school.
Personally, I feel like senioritis isn't real to some extent. I have heard of senioritis from like other people, but personally for me, I feel like sometimes senioritis is kind of like procrastination, where it's kind of like in your mentality, and procrastination really stems from like you not really wanting to do something. But I do believe that senioritis can be avoided, or at least it wasn't present for me this year, because I really had a goal in mind, which was, I want to continue my education, go to college, and that in itself was so much, I had so much motivation just to get there. And yeah, so as long as you have a goal in mind, senioritis I don't think it's real.
Senioritis is so real. It's real, but it's because all of high school, or at least for me, it's been about like, let's go get to the best college possible. And so now when we're at this kind of like mark in time where we're just waiting and all the college applications are over, it's like, oh, I'm done. And there's just this like huge feeling like, oh, I don't have to do anything else, I'm done. And I feel like that's where like senioritis kind of stems from. And I think especially kind of with like this COVID situation and online, it's so much easier to just turn on your computer and go back to sleep. And I feel like the most important thing when you're thinking about senioritis is to create another goal or create another motivation for yourself.
I would say senioritis is real. It's not basically how I was told it would be, or at least for me, it's not. I feel like I was told senioritis would be, missing tons of classes and stuff like that, and just like not going to school. And I feel like for me, it's more I don't want to go to any of my classes, but like I kind of have to. I wouldn't be, I wouldn't have the grades I have now if I didn't go. And it's more of I procrastinate on a lot of things, and I just generally do things last minute, and that's kind of sort of it. It's not really, I miss classes and all that because that's just not really feasible right now.
I was never, I don't know how to answer this. I was never really involved. I never really put too much effort into it, school in general. But this year, I have just lost pretty much all motivation for anything high school related. I only have like 4 classes, kind of like 3, one of which is cooking. One is capstone and English. And I'm done pretty much. Like internally, I just don't want to do anything. And I think a lot of people that I talk to, a lot of seniors will corroborate that it's just like the motivation is gone because you feel like you're at the final stretch, past the point of like having to work really hard for, I don't know, college apps or anything?
I mean, it could possibly be real, but if I'm being realistic with you guys, I have had it since, like, middle school. I have, you know, it's a struggle to get your assignments done. Like, nobody's in love with school, constantly, like, doing all their homework, but, like, you get it done. It's, like, the end, and it's, like, you know when you think that it's the end is the easiest part of the race, but it's always the most difficult because you have to push yourself through it, even though you're just, like, this has to be over now. Like, that's, yeah.
A drummed up country boy who never knew his place.
The highlight of my senior year was definitely participating in this program from the Raices Recruitment and Retention Center at UC Berkeley. It was called High Feed, Helping Youth Pursue Higher Education Early. And it was amazing because it's like a 6-week program over Zoom, and I would go every Sunday, and then people from the Berkeley admissions office would come and talk to us each one day online, like talk about things. And it was really amazing because I realized that there's so many obstacles that students of color face that are like nobody really talks about. And it just felt really comforting. And I felt like I had a lot of support just being in a community with like people whose like aspirations and visions really aligned with my own. And that was definitely a highlight.
For me personally, I got my driver's license, which I'm a little late on, but I got it, and being able to like drive anywhere is just such a blessing, especially now because I have so much like more free time.
The student store, we're gonna create a website, so it's fun. Over the summer of 8th grade, after 8th grade, me and my friends were talking like, hey, we should do something in high school because we have to prepare for colleges and it would be really fun to maybe start something or create something new. So we had like a bunch of ideas. We were like, should we create like a homework club? Should we create like a different like make like arts and craft club? There was a lot of things. And I was like, hey, let's create the student store because we don't have a student store here. And then I was like, I recruited 2 of my friends, I think, and then we created a club because we couldn't do like the official student store yet because we didn't have anything. So we had to make it into a club first. And then in 9th grade, we gathered people, we created a business proposal, and then we got a scheduled budget. And then 10th grade is when we got away from the club label and we got to, this is the Larchmont student store. And then we started selling, we started improving before school, after school, whatnot.
Like I want to be remembered as like a good person who like genuinely cared about like, you know, other people and kind of sort of like what their opinions and stuff. And, you know, I wanted to be remembered as like the person that you could kind of sort of just go up to and, you know, ask any question, you know, whether or not I had the answer. I would like to be able to be remembered as someone who you could ask for, even if you couldn't get, you know, the perfect answer or whatever. Just that people could like depend on me to ask stuff, and I care about their questions.
I guess in life, or I would like to be remembered as someone who did not just do what they're told, or someone who did things kind of differently from the majority or the norm. I think I take that very seriously. I take pride in that, not doing things the way everyone else does. Fierce individuality.
I want to be remembered as a student who can inspire other students to achieve their dreams, because personally for me, when I got into high school, school wasn't my priority whatsoever. I didn't have the best grades, that's for sure, but I kept on working harder and harder each year, and I learned from my mistakes. So I guess one of my biggest mistakes would be kind of falling for that myth where freshman year doesn't really matter. So I didn't do that well that year. But then I learned that, okay, like now 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, they're really gonna matter. And I tried better and I improved my study skills like a lot. And I hope that by sharing like my story and that, like somebody who, you know, didn't take their education quite as seriously at the beginning of high school, you can grow and you can come to love your education, because at the end of the day, your education and your knowledge is all you're going to have.
Hi, class of 2021. It's Mrs. Choi, and I am coming to you today with a message from Senior Spotlight. One, look out for it. It is coming and it is going to highlight you guys in such a special way. So look out for those emails from your peers and enjoy being interviewed and just being celebrated for all the things that you guys have accomplished this year, being in this, crazy pandemic. And we're almost at the finish line. So, keep the motivation up, keep your spirits up. We are almost there, and we are here to celebrate you. So look out for the Senior Spotlight and enjoy being celebrated.